So what I have for you today is a public service announcement about, you guessed it, Snap-on. Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome to Garnett-Tools. So Snap-on just recently announced a couple acquisitions that flew a little under my radar, but we're going to get into those in a second. Right here I have for you a list, it's a semi-list of the companies that Snap-on currently owns. Now the Snap-on I'm talking about is Snap-on Incorporated. Now if you want, you can consider them as Stanley Black & Decker to Mac Tools, whereas the Snap-on Incorporated owns Snap-on. So here's the list of a partial list, actually, of who Snap-on currently owns. Now I have some additions to add to that, but we'll get into that in a second. But at the current, they own Snap-on, Acessa, ATI, Baco, Bluepoint, CDI Torque, Irizola, Irimo, Lindstrom, Palmera, Sue, Wanda, and Williams. Now that's just the tools. The tools, you know, the actual hand tools you use every day to get, you know, an automotive job or any repair job done. Those regular tools, those are. Now the other companies that Snap-on owns, because there's been a few acquisitions over the years, Challenger Lifts, the car lifts, providing car lifts for, you know, shops and that nature. Then you have ProCut International. I don't really understand what they do. Let's see if we can see here really quickly. Oh, okay. That's a on-car. That's the on-car brake rotor cutting solution. I think that is ProCut International. Then you have Ecotechnics. What did they do? They design and manufacture automatic vehicle air conditioning maintenance equipment for OEM dealerships and such. Then we have the last one, I believe, Caroliner, which, you know, is an undercar lining, putting protective a coating underneath your vehicle there. And yeah, there's one more here in 2006, which the actual press release is not available for it anymore, and it is where are they at? ProQuest Business Solutions. So I don't really know what they do. There's not really much information on that. They might have acquired that company and absolved it into another one. But actually there's one more, Mitchell DIY, or Mitchell One On Demand. Snap-on actually does own that company as well, but I guess this is a partnership between them and another company, maybe. There's a year 2000 listing for when Napa actually was a joint partner with Snap-on and owning Mitchell, but I don't know how true that is anymore. Now there are some other companies out there. There may be some other companies in Europe and Africa and stuff like that where Snap-on does have a foothold, but this is just what the information I could find at the current. Now let's get into who they just bought. Now the first one is going to be from November 2017, and I'm gonna go ahead and go through the some of the details associated with the press release. So the first one here is Sturtevant Richmont. Now Sturtevant Richmont is a torque air proofing company where they make torque products that are in a commercial industrial application where you can replicate preset torques and calibrate torques and sort of monitor, you know, in a production sense, what torque is being applied to every step of a situation or production stage, stuff like that. That's what Sturtevant Richmont does. And if we go to their website here, you'll see just what I'm talking about. This is a radio equipped digital torque wrench, which I guess it's wirelessly monitoring the torque output of the actually the application of the torque, stuff like that. That's what Sturtevant Richmont does. Now they also have regular Dow indicated torque products such as this, but for the most part, they are an air-proofing torque. You know, they also have micrometer, but this it even says right here that these says somewhere on here that these will be built upon ordering. So for the most part, they are a digital torque wrench manufacturer that offers some monitoring and some replication products in the industrial sense of the word. So in the statement, it says here, they are acquiring them for $13 million in cash. Now, if you see there, 13 million is pretty close to what their annual sales revenue is, which is 10 million. And you like to see that, you know, most times you like to see as Snap-on, from a Snap-on standpoint, you like to see not having to pay too much above their annual sales numbers. So 10 million in annual sales, Snap-on's paying 3 million in excess of that. So it's really a good deal when it comes to Snap-on acquiring this company in particular. Now, if you want to read the Snap-on's definition of Sturtevant Richmont, Sturtevant Richmont designs, manufactures, and distributes mechanical and electric torque wrenches as well as wireless torque air-proofing systems for a variety of industrial applications. It goes on to say the acquisition of Sturtevant Richmont which will be part of the company's commercial and industrial group, enhances and expands Snap-on's capabilities in providing solutions that address torque requirements which are increasingly essential to mechanical performance. So it sounds like they are just going to purchase this company and continue business as usual. That's what it sounds like to me. It doesn't sound like they are going to necessarily incorporate their products with Snap-on as the company, not Snap-on Incorporated. Snap-on, it doesn't sound like they are going to put the Sturtevant Richmont products in the Snap-on lineup. But it goes on because this was the acquisition of last year, November 17th of last year. But we have another acquisition which happened just recently, May 4th, 2017. Snap-on is acquiring Norbar Torque. Now, for those of you who don't know, Norbar Torque has a huge presence over there in their region of the world, that is, you know, Europe, United Kingdom, Germany, things like that. And I've noticed that Norbar actually supplies a lot of torque products to some of the tool companies over there, such as Vera, Stavila, Alora. I've noticed some of the products from those companies are actually Norbar products and not actually products of their own. So it looks like Norbar is manufacturing for those companies. And it says right here that Snap-on is acquiring Norbar Torque for 72 million. 72 million. Yes, that's million with the M. That's a big number. But if you see here, it says their annual sales are only 41 million. So it looks like Snap-on has paid almost double valuation. Almost. Looks like 31 million they paid in excess for Norbar Torque. Now, there's a little bit of weird wording in here. It says that Snap-on has announced that it has acquired Norbar Tools Holdings Limited along with its U.S. and Chinese joint ventures. So it sounds like to me that if Norbar has part ownership in a company that's based in America or based in China, even if Norbar is having, you know, has certain agreements with Chinese manufacturers or U.S. manufacturers, that Snap-on is acquiring that as well. So that may play into why they overpaid for Norbar when it comes to their $41 million annual sales. But if you want to look for a Snap-on's definition of what Norbar is It says Norbar is a leading European manufacturer of a full range of torque products, including wrenches, multipliers, and calibrators, and has a strong presence in critical industries including power generation, oil and gas, mining, and railroad. The acquisition of Norbar, which will be part of the company's commercial and industrial group. So you see that, you remember that from the Sturtevant Richmont, they're going into the same space, both of these companies, complements and expands Snap-on's existing torque offering to critical industries, particularly in power torque products. So if you notice there, the wording's a little different between the Norbar acquisition and the Sturtevant Richmont acquisition, where it's, just a general description, they're going to be adding them to address torque requirements, which is, sort of a bland, wishy-washy statement, to Norbar, which they state particularly in power torque products. So if you take a look at Norbar's website, and you can see right there that Norbar actually makes things like this, which are huge torque multipliers that are power torque multipliers. They also have pneumatic torque multipliers that are, in an industrial sense, considered some of the best out there. I know of not many torque companies over there across the pond, but Norbar is absolutely one of the top torque manufacturing tools in torque manufacturers in the world. So it's a huge acquisition in my eyes, because I actually considered a couple products from Norbar, because they offer actually regular micrometer torque wrenches as well that are different in a way that you can actually exchange the head of the torque tool. Now I know there's a couple US companies that may have dabbled in this in the past, but Norbar is really big on that. They have, say you want a round head torque head, say you want a crow's foot open end type torque head, they do all of that. They do that, as well as these power torque and pneumatic torque and electronic torque tools for industry. So this acquisition is huge. $72 million is not no, toss in a bucket. That's a lot of money, for a company that I think was like 800 million in Snap-on was 800 million or something like that in sales revenue, something like that. So it's a pretty big deal to pay 72 million for a company. But hopefully, the Norbar will continue making great products and not charge an excess that Snap-on usually, super premium that Snap-on products usually command. But Norbar, if you could search eBay, and there's going to be a pretty prevalent presence of Norbar products on eBay, which you can get used Norbar torque wrenches for like $100 a pop. So I really hope they, sort of stay in where they are, because it sounds like they're doing pretty good for themselves. And in fact, this does not, the Snap-on news release doesn't say really that Norbar was struggling or anything like that. But I really hope that they continue to produce great products at a great value for their customers and not charge a super premium that Snap-on usually commands. But hey, that's all I have for you. And I know there was a couple of YouTubers. You had Eric the Car Guy or something like that say that they're not torque Nazis, but it appears Snap-on is. So with that said, that's all I have for you guys. As always, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more videos. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. If you're still here, consider checking out my other reviews of quality hand tools.